Why more than just a worksheet? Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with worksheets. Let's say that first of all. They have their place. They're pretty useful, but I would like to say that I think they're kind of like a piece of Lego. All right? It's a useful building block, all right? But perhaps not that inspiring. What we really want, if we want something that we could call a successful piece of material, is something that is more than just a collection of worksheets or even just a collection of activities, something that's more than the sum of its parts, maybe something more like this. That's rather an ambitious lesson, I think, but you get my point. So, what makes for effective materials then? Well, first of all, I think flow is very important. Okay, by flow, I mean, does the lesson make a whole rather than just being a pile of disconnected Lego bricks? Is there a clear path through the lesson? Are the transitions between the stages smooth? Does the material carry the learners along so that they feel that each stage is a natural progression from the last stage? Okay, secondly, are the materials or topic interesting? Are they engaging, relevant? So you want students to be so interested in the activity or topic that they need the language in order to be able to talk about it. So this is very important. So think about, does it contain something new that they might want to tell people about afterwards? Does it have a different angle on a topic that perhaps is a bit done? Right? In other words, done to death. And will the students be able to relate to it? Next point, linguistic and cognitive demands. Right? So what background or cultural knowledge will the students need in order to engage with the material? What will they already need to know? What assumptions are you making about what they know? Is the language that you're teaching useful or appropriate for their level, for their needs? And does the activity or the lesson have a cognitive challenge as well as a linguistic one? This is quite important, especially at lower levels, I think, because there can be, it's an easy assumption to make that because they don't have very much English, they're not actually capable of thinking to a high level, which of course is completely wrong. So sometimes we can balance out quite a low level of language with something that is much more challenging, if you like, for them to do cognitively. Variety. Okay, is there enough variety? Does the lesson have a good balance of heads up, heads down? Do you know what I mean by that? It's kind of what it says, you know, students heads up or students heads down. So in other words, is there a balance between moments in the lesson when students have their heads up, when they're talking to each other, when they're interacting, and moments when their heads are down, maybe reading or writing or thinking? Right. So we want to have a nice, this kind of pattern, ideally, I think, in a successful lesson, not one where heads are down all the way through and then, oh, you're allowed to speak in the last 5 minutes, which very often gets left out anyway because the teacher runs out of time. Right. Different activity types. Right. This goes back in a way to the death by worksheet. You know, we don't want endless gap fills. Right. And changes in pace. Right. So, you know, some activities may be at a slower pace, others will be fast, and this helps to keep the students engaged.